Hello again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel. I am Prince Magnum. Welcome to Sober Talk. Today we're going to continue diving deeper into the steps. We're going to take a good look at step 2, and I'm going to throw out something that you're going to find in the books, and then I'm going to throw something at you that's not in the books. So, without further ado, without me rattling off any further than I have to, what is step 2? Step 2 is came to believe a power greater than us can restore us to sanity. Let's talk about sanity for a moment. First and foremost, our actions before we decided to get sober were not very sane. Uh, Alcohol, drugs are very, very powerful agents. They've been known to remove bank accounts, entire bank rolls, given to us by companies, jobs, shoot, even families. I know that firsthand. So our behavior in the bottom of the bottle is very irrational. It's not sane. So we need something because we are powerless. And if you stay in step 1, that's very hopeless. We need some hope. We need that there has to be something that we can believe in that will get us out of this. Okay? So that's where this whole God thing starts coming into play. Now, let me say up front, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, I don't know anybody, any other, 12-step group otherwise, but I could say that those two do not get hung up on religion. If you want to get religious, that's your business. I'm not going to tell you to do so. I have my religion, and I'm very happy with it. It's working just fine, so we'll just stick with that. But to understand the most important piece of step 2 when it comes to spirituality is understanding that spirituality is your personal relationship with a higher power of your understanding, a God of your choosing, if you will. Now, this higher power can be something as simple as, say, the wind. My first sponsor, that was his very first higher power. Of course, he went later on and got religious and everything, but that's what worked for him. Religion is not necessary. God can be simply good orderly direction from good old drunks because the groups as a collective whole have found the solution to the problem. So the entire group can be your higher power. That being said, when I say that religion doesn't really play a factor into this, the best way I can say it is spirituality, as I said, is your own personal relationship with a God of your understanding. Religion is a group of people who believe in God along the same lines, but they don't always fully agree. But the general consensus is kind of based around one whole idea. So that being said, just get the two, separated. Some older members in AA and sometimes in NA will sometimes often say that, will also say this, religion is for people who are afraid of hell. Spirituality is for people who've been to hell. So just kind of bear that in mind, okay? I don't always use that one a lot. Some people get kind of offended by that, but that's just something to, maybe that might help you. Just some people get kind of, whiny about that. That being said, we know that our actions before we got sober were insane. We weren't in our right minds. And in order to keep us from slipping back into that, we now need a higher power. That's really step 2 in a nutshell, or kind of the shortened version. Now, I will suggest that if you're going to dive into this a little deeper, obviously do it with a sponsor, and read the books very closely. The Big Book and the 12 and 12 are very, very in depth on these subjects. Obviously, when you go to pick up the 12 and 12 or the 12 steps and 12 traditions, it tells you where step 2 is. When you're in the Big Book, well, that's a different story. Step 2 will be found in We Agnostics. So definitely take a good close look at those, and just don't close yourself off because you hear God mentioned in a meeting from time to time, because I know some people get kind of upset about that. And if you are of the satanic religious type, don't let this deter you. Um, Let me just say up front, I have not found anything in the big book that couldn't be applied to even say the true Satanist religion. We're talking Anton LaVey sort of stuff. I've not found anything that would, basically. It's one of those things. If you want more details, contact me through my email, princemagnum1 at gmail.com, and I will go in depth on that. We'll just skip all that. All right. Um, Let me give you a little bit of inside info real quick. I will tell you that step one is the only one you can get 100% right, and the other 11 steps are perfect ideas. I will just say that even though I have went through step two with a sponsor, I'm still learning about step two. So there you have it, a little inside info. All right, that brings us to the end of this once again, another sober talk. I do enjoy doing them. I should do them more often, but unfortunately I don't. It's just not super popular. Excuse me. For some reason, a lot of people just don't click on it. But anyhow, uh, as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Get out there and work on a project. If you got a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. And above all, as always, if nobody has told you that they love you today, Prince Magnum does. God bless you, and have a happy 24. Thank you.